It's only been 3 weeks since I last checked in with my health goal progress, although more time will pass by the time you see this because I'm just so behind with everything. Time is flying by, and I am shocked that I've actually stuck with some of these goals because my deadline for my book is approaching and I have just been in rapid recipe development mode. But I think that just goes to show how well making tiny adjustments to your daily life can help with consistency overall. Let's check in with my health tracker. You can see that I added some columns since the last time I showed my health goal tracker. I added some mini goals like doing weights 3 days a week or cardio 2 days a week. I'm still keeping with the minimum of 10 minutes of activity a day. I also added focusing on a high protein lunch. And then I actually ended up deciding to get rid of this no phone after 9 p.m. So you can see here, I just X'd out everything. I mean, really, that just wasn't achievable for me. Instead, for my sleep focus, I decided to help establish a bedtime routine by focusing on completing my skincare, washing my face, putting my night creams every night before bed in hopes that will help tell my system that it's bedtime and have a good night's sleep. But let's break this down goal by goal, starting with the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, which is to take my vitamins. Looking at this, I did pretty well at remembering to take my vitamins. My 21-day pill box is working out really well. I did go out of town on the 16th and 17th of this month, but you can see that I actually remembered to take my vitamins. Where I forgot was the next morning, I forgot to unpack them, so I didn't take them Monday morning. One of the things that I started doing that helps me remember to take my vitamins is that I moved my vitamin pill box into the cupboard where I keep my coffee mugs. That way, when I'm making coffee in the morning, I can grab my vitamins and get those out of the way. It's also where I keep my morning Gem Bite. Gem is a multivitamin made with real food ingredients. It has over 20 real food vitamins, minerals, probiotics, superfoods, and prebiotics. All of them are whole food sourced. Lately in the news, all I've been hearing about is the dangerous chemicals and synthetic ingredients found in foods. The more I research this, the more I'm making an effort to get rid of some of the processed foods and supplements from what we take every day. And I'm making a switch to real foods. I'm glad I made this switch to a real food-based multivitamin several months ago, especially since our bodies absorb nutrients better when they're in a whole food source. The Gem Bite has turmeric for skin and gut protection. It has zinc made from pumpkin seeds. It has vitamin K2 sourced from chickpeas. It contains vitamin B complex sourced from germinated quinoa sprouts, ginger, and so much more. All of them are from whole food sources. Having these real whole food sourced prebiotics and probiotics has really helped to change my digestive bloat. And I really like the flavor of it. It's slightly sweet with notes of citrus and ginger. I look forward to it every morning, and for me, taking my vitamins and supplements every day has made the most difference in feeling good and having more energy. Right now, Gem is offering 50% off for your first month. Go to dailygem.com/KetoFocus and use code KetoFocus at checkout to get yours. This next month, I'm going to continue my strategy for taking my vitamins. I feel like it's working, but Gem does have a whole food source supplement that I want to try. They are introducing the Chill Bite, and I hope to get some of those next month so I can report for you. Last month for my activity goal, I wanted to continue with the minimum of 10 minutes of activity today, but I wanted to make sure I was lifting some weights 3 days a week, plus adding on some cardio for my cardiovascular health just 2 days a week. Or at least 2 days a week. I tracked down what I did on my health goal tracker, and you can see I did a mix of Peloton and walking for the cardio. And for the weights, it was a mix of a few Peloton classes, but I mostly used free weights at the gym or at home. I did have a few days where I didn't do anything, but that's because we were out of town, and I just don't like to work out when I'm vacationing or out of town. And one day I was just too busy trying to get ready for Halloween and homecoming, so that didn't happen either. My activity goal this month, besides continuing the 10 minutes of activity a day and the weights and the cardio, is that I want to start wearing my Apple Watch again and tracking my steps. Now that I finished my recipes in my cookbook, I'm going to be in front of the computer all day, just inputting everything. This month's goal is to get at least 5,000 steps a day. Now that might not seem like a lot of steps, but I really don't want to overdo it and overcommit. And usually when I have these types of sedentary computer days, I only get around 2,000 to 3,000 steps in a day. As as far as protein consumption goes, this month I really did a good job of meeting the 20 to 30 grams of protein for breakfast and 30 to 40 grams of protein for lunch. There were a couple mornings that I did actually skip breakfast. One morning I just didn't feel good, and the other one, it was a hotel breakfast, and I can't stand their rubbery scrambled eggs. They had turkey sausage, but it was just not edible, so I had coffee that morning instead. Lunches were actually easy because I was pretty much in the kitchen every day working on recipes for my cookbook, so I just eat whatever I made. And I'm so excited to bring you guys this book. There are so many amazing options that you can choose from that are high in protein, and I used every single protein that you can pretty much think of, from chicken to seafood, beef, lamb, wild game, plant-based, there's eggs. I have snacks and appetizers, high protein side dishes, desserts, breakfast, everything. And it was really fun working on these recipes, but I am so glad to be done with the cooking portion of it. I really want to get back on track making consistent videos for you guys and being present on social media. I missed you. This next month, I'm going to continue focusing on having a high protein breakfast and lunch. Dinner in my household is usually always high protein because I have two very hungry, growing teenage boys that eat a lot of protein all the time. So every night I'm usually making anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds of meat. But I do have something to share that has really made getting a high protein packed dinner on the table without a lot of effort just real easy. It's using the sous vide. It's similar to using a slow cooker in regards to that you add your meat to a bath and it cooks for over a long period of time, but instead of like slowly increasing the temperature, you are cooking it at this constant temperature in a water bath for anywhere from like 1 to 7 or 8 hours. So it can really just cook all day while you're working. And then when you get home, you empty out the bag and you sear the meat either on the grill or on the stovetop. And let me tell you, there is a definite difference between meat that has been cooked in the sous vide as opposed to traditional ways of cooking meat. It's more tender and has more robust flavor. You won't regret it. It's one of the best purchases we've made. Also a really good Christmas gift too. For my posture goal, you can see that I kind of gave up for a few days. I know I said I was going to order that posture alerting device, but I never got around to it. Plus, I didn't want to spend money on something that I wasn't sure I was actually going to love. Instead, I decided to give the brace another try, and I'd wear it a few hours a day, usually in the morning when I was getting ready or if I was just kind of cooking around the kitchen. And this time I did wear it over my clothes and it was a lot more comfortable. I had days where my posture focus was just stretching or I was working on the core. This next month, I really want to be focusing on working out my core more to help with my posture, especially since I'm going to be sitting in front of the computer a lot. So my next mini goal is to do daily core work from at least 5 to 10 minutes a day. To help improve my sleep, I set up a bedtime routine where I washed my face and put my skincare on before I went to bed. I did fairly good here too. There were some nights I was either lazy because I got home late or some nights where I didn't want to do it because I was traveling. But for the most part, I think I was successful here. For the next month, I want to continue my nighttime skincare routine, but I also want to read for 10 minutes every night before bed. I have a lot of research to do for the front pages of this cookbook I have coming out. And I'm also hoping that reading will break my endless scrolling that I do on my cell phone right before bedtime, because we both know that that's been an issue. Check in next month to see how I did on these little mini goals. And if you want to see how this journey started and what I've been doing, then just click right here to watch it from the beginning.